Hey guys, Richie here, and again, not in my room, doing my latest review. Now, it's been hot all day, so I've not got a t-shirt on, so I thought I should wear a coat, wear some sort of level of clothing, but as you can see, it's still partly exposed. But yeah, as it's rained earlier, it's actually quite comfy wearing this. So yeah, anyway, on to my latest review now. That's what I'm currently reading, besides what the video is about, the Warhammer Black Library celebrations. I only started collecting these recently, so I had to buy the others. They're free around every March, April, it's about that, or maybe even Feb, they come to the stores and you just get them for counter. Don't cost any money, although I'd have to try and buy something at the same time, whether it's the latest book or a model or something. But whatever. So yeah, promote Warhammer, and I swear I will start doing some Warhammer vids. I keep saying I will, but I just struggle. But I've got in mind for the Garrow and Era of Ruin duo. So yeah, on to the actual review. This is Cross Country James Patterson. Now, God Almighty, I didn't remember liking this all that much when I first read it back in 2010 or 11, 12 maybe, something like that. But on a reread, I really didn't like it. Now, and spoilers for this, and only up to this point, not the later books. But I said in my previous vid, actually, I've always had this dislike for Alex Cross. Seems to think he's the only one who can stop the bad guys. Like, there's a book I'm remembering it either it's something that comes later, so okay, minor spoiler, or it's one that's come from one of the first 12 books, but Nana just tears Alex apart for the danger he puts himself and, more importantly, his family in, and Alex is like I said in the previous video, he just doesn't care. He's like, yeah, but I'm the one that can stop these people, and annoyingly, no one ever calls him out on that. It kind of happens in this book. Alex takes this insanely too far and decides to go to Africa to stop the villain, because he's emotionally attached to a cave, basically. Nana, has a bit of a word with him, but that's basically it. Alex gets his way, and of course, in the end, his family are in extreme danger. So, basic plot, cross country, there's a new villain called the Tiger, who's some sort of like government mercenary, commits these horrific murders. He's got a small gang of like teenagers that like are completely committed to his cause and just help commit mass murder. And it's not, when they target someone, they take out the entire family as well. So the reason Alex is involved, because of course he's gone back to police work over his psychology work, being a therapist for people. His ex-girlfriend from when he was at university, which is obviously a long time ago, like gotta be 20 odd years, has been like, she's married, moved on, she's been murdered, and so her family. So Alex gets involved, and yeah, he finds out it's this guy called the Tiger. It's insanely muscular African American guy. Like he seems to be from Nigeria, and yeah, he's commits all these series of murders. Eventually returns to Nigeria, when the city Lagos, where Alex ends up. And yeah, he basically goes. It's totally outside his jurisdiction, but he goes anyway. The only thing is, she spends his own cash on. His own cash is his air miles. I assume that's, well, I don't know whether it's Virgin or some American equivalent, but so he basically gets a free trip to anywhere he wants using his air miles, and get as a CIA contact. And it's just frankly unbelievable the fact that he goes there at all, and of course, sure enough, everything goes wrong. Gets kidnapped, beaten to a pulp, locked up for ages, and meets other people, and of course they all get killed as well. Not Alex's fault, it's just the places he goes to. It's a woman that you think, an affair may start, and you can't blame him. She's like written as the most beautiful woman ever. But yeah, the whole Tiger killings, it's like goes all the way to the top. You can see it's quite clear he works with America's like heads at the CIA. And yeah, Alex faces off against him, tries to bash his legs with a shovel. Feels like a shout out to the Daredevil Ben Affleck film, when the only way he could beat Kingpin was by kicking his legs in at the shins, but the Tiger barely seems to notice. Alex, gets kicked around a bit again, nearly gets his arm cut off, which I think would have been good to actually have happened, because, consequences. But Alex fails and gets forced to return to America, where his family are then, sure enough, taken prisoner. Turns out they're not hurt, they're just, it's revealed they're just questions, but there's people at CIA who are working with the Tiger, people who aren't, and it's part of a plan to stop the Tiger's main contact. In the end, the Tiger was killed, and naturally, Alex doesn't do it, so it's just someone else. It's Bree, much like in the previous book, and yeah, it's just... I remember reading this thinking, God, is this the trend now? If Alex can't kill a villain, someone important to him will. Like, who's next? Janie, Damon, little Ali, who knows? But yeah, Tiger was killed. Alex's family are returned. It turns out they were safe only because the others at the CIA caught the guy who was working with the Tiger. And that's basically the end of the plot. Oh, and Carl Craig pops up to congratulate Alex on his dedication, and mentions that when they finally catch the real villains in the CIA, he's there as well, obviously lurking around. And Carl Craig is great. He's always entertaining. So that's basically the book. Alex, thinks, I'm the Dragon Slayer. I got to slay every dragon. goes off to Africa, which is a frankly insane thing, because all he thinks is he's in Lagos, and then ends up in Sierra Leone and back, and discovers how horrible it is all there. Now, I'm assuming this is based somewhat on real life, but I wouldn't know for sure what the state of the world was in African countries in 2010s, but I feel like it was probably somewhat real, and yeah, it was absolutely horrific. Maybe this overplays the violence that's going in real life at the time. Honestly, do not know, but yeah, it's just bloody nasty what's going on in there. And yeah, just again, it's got some good things. Samson's scenes with John are always great, even the Brie ones are. That massively toned down on Alex's randiness, thank God. And again, it just feels quite contrived. Like, the reason they force Alex to return to America, which is great, something that should have happened really early into the book. He gets kidnapped, but of course he's got a tracker on his car, which we don't know about, but Samson and Bree do, so they find him and are able to save him. And yeah, it's just like, Jesus, Alex, what are you doing? Just step back, let someone else deal with this. And it's one of those stories, like there's that argument about Indiana Jones. Not the ferret's on the loose, just better, if you can see him, there he is. We've got our fence done recently. A few gaps. I have to keep an eye on the ferret, make sure he doesn't try and escape. But yeah, there's the argument in Big Bang Theory and in real life as well that in Indiana Jones, Indy being there doesn't really change anything. That's complete garbage. It does. Maybe things would have gone more or less the same if he wasn't there, but him being there still has, still matters. But yeah, if Alex hadn't gone after the tiger in cross country, maybe the tiger would never have been stopped. Well, he would have done. The fact that the CIA are working against their rogue agents, and it would have brought him in. And yeah, Alex being there, just if he didn't get involved, the tiger would have been stopped anyway. In the end, anyway. So yeah, not a fan of this book whatsoever. And I decided, even if I really liked the book, I would have kept it short. But so far, not good. But this is book 14. Books 13 and 14. The first two I've read from after 12 ended with cross and decided to get rid of. This is just in terrible shape, so I bet my boy keep it. He's already started playing with the book a bit. You can see it's creased up at the corner. But yeah, I wouldn't have kept this anyway just because of the bad state, but I might have bought a decent copy to hang on to, but no. Not keeping this at all. See ya. And the next book is going to be Alex Cross's Trial, which is not Alex on trial for anything. There is a later book where that sort of happens, though. That's what it is. But it's kind of like I think it's like a family story, like a history of what his family have gone to through like the KKK era, maybe further back. I'm not sure. But yeah, then it's I, Alex Cross, the next full novel. I don't know if Carl Craig returns as the villain or it's someone else. He's going to come back eventually, I know that. That's not really a spoiler, because of course he's returning. He wouldn't have escaped from prison to just vanish forever. Well, that would probably be a smart move from him. But yeah, not a fan of the book Cross Country one bit. Looking at my Goodreads, I gave it a 3 or 4 out of 5 when I was trying to remember my score when all these books I just started doing when I set the account up. Definitely a 2 this time. Like, it's got its good moments, like John and Samson stuff is always gold. Nana is a great hard ass on Alex, and if he doesn't listen. The scenes with Damon and Janie are always nice because Damon's at university, and there's just a good scene where he calls him just to talk at like 2 a.m. Those scenes are great, but overall it's just a terrible book with Alex winning and not learning any lessons. So yeah, if you had any James Patterson fans out there, if you read it just because you want to read them all, cool, but I'd personally skip it. Unless the tiger gets mentioned later, I feel like this could easily be forgotten about very easily. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the book. Next up, there will be a review for something Warhammer eventually, but yeah, next Alex Cross book will of course be done, but I'm basically following a pattern of Warhammer book, next Alex Cross book, and something else. I always call it like a family book, all ages, etc. So yeah, Warhammer Era of Ruin, Warhammer Flames of Betrayal, Garrow, the first story. Then it was this, and then the Demon Headmaster, because I haven't just read the Brittany book. I was basically pushed Demon Headmaster back, but yeah, that's the plan for the next one, book 7, because why not read 2 of the new ones first, then go back to the first 6. Plus, I never read the second new one, didn't even know about that till like a couple of months ago. And then, yeah, it's going to be Flames of Betrayal, book 2, Era of Ruin, which is an anthology, which is crazy expensive because I didn't buy it on day 1 in hardback. So, well. And then it will be the next one of these, and then the 8th / second, but the last Demon Headmaster book. And then, yeah, this is just like wild books. For example, Garrows, I've left at work, Flames of Betrayal, because it's in good condition, and I don't fancy, perfect condition, I don't fancy damaging it. So while that's there, it's just to read between like the likes of this. So yeah, fun short stories, which enjoyable enough. So yeah, anyone Warhammer fans, definitely recommend the Black Library collection as well. But more importantly, this is what the video is about. Don't bother cross country. Read it if you want, for continuity, etc. There's a reference to something in real life which I liked, e.g. James Blunt's New York Beautiful. Now, 2005, that was non-stop in England. #1 for like a month or something. It was being played everywhere, even though High and Tears and Rain are far superior tracks. But yeah, in this book, he does say that James Blunt's song where he says beautiful over and over. It's like, yeah, he does. You're beautiful. It says a lot in that song. But I admit, then for a 2010 book, I've got to double check this. Is it 2010 or 11 this came out? No, my bad. It was 2008, published in UK in 2009. So yeah, 3 years after You're Beautiful, it's apparently still being played on the radio a lot in America now. Was that true? Was it even big in America? Was James Blunt big there? Who knows? But I like that sort of pop culture reference. It's always nice. Like one of the older books is a Phantom Menace reference when Alex feels Samuel Jackson should have more screen time. It's like, yeah, I bet everyone thought that, but episode 2 and 3 took care of that. But yeah, so that is it. So the next one will be Alex Cross's Trial, which I'll probably be on in like a week or so. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the vid and enjoyed my totally slanted view there and my coat with no t-shirt underneath. But anyway, that's it. Hope you had fun and see you next time.